Hey Niner faithful, Johnny Dell back with another video on our 49ers. We're going to continue this weekly recap video looking at why did the game turn out the way it did. We're going to continue focusing on the defense in this episode. This one I want to look at the pass rush. The next episode we'll look a little bit at the secondary and the improved play from the secondary, and then we'll turn things over to the offense and kind of look at how things went on the offense side of the ball. Now here we nearly had Nick Bosa's first NFL sack. It was so close that you wonder if his ankle is fully healthy if he gets the sack. But just watch on this play. He's going to be one-on-one with the tackle. This is what D Ford creates in the game. They put both tight ends to his side, and they're doing this to cause him. Both of these tight ends are going to take on D Ford. You get this is Armstead in the middle, I believe, or is Buckner. I have to go back and look at it. It's hard to tell from this angle, but both these offensive linemen double team here. We get a double team here. This is what's crazy. The Buccaneers keep 7 men into block. 7 men into block. And we still get immediate pressure right in Nick Bosa's face. Not Nick Bosa, Jameis Winston's face. This is why you go out and you get a Nick Bosa, and this is why you go out and you get a D Ford, because you pair that with Buckner. Is Buckner right here. I can see now at the 91. That's Armstead. You pair that with Buckner here and Armstead here. That's a lot of talent along the front line here. We have a first-round pick, and we have a guy who we traded a second-round pick for. That's a lot of talent along that defensive line. And so here, look at how this is what Nick Bosa is so great at. He's going to come in here and he's just going to immediately get the hands of the tackle off of him and slip inside. I mean, that is instant pressure on the quarterback, and Winston scrambling for his life. Look at that. Boom, he's right there. Now he jukes him, and he's able to complete a pass. But if his ankle's healthy, he probably gets that sack. Maybe not, but he's still learning from that. That's still a positive thing. That counts as a pressure. That's what we haven't seen here for a long time. So here we're going to go to the next play, and this one we're going to highlight D Ford. Again, this is what Tampa Bay had to start doing to slow down our pass rush, because they're going to put 2 tight ends on one side and they're going to put another tight end on the other. The idea is that you create traffic, at the very minimum traffic, for these guys to fight through. On this play, they're going to make sure I'm thinking this one right. Yeah, they're going to fake a run, and so what they're going to do is this tight end is actually going to be engaged on D Ford, and then they're bringing a guard around to help double on him. They're trying to double D Ford here. So watch this. And what D Ford does is he, on the snap of the ball, he takes in, and they're chipping him. So they're really putting 3 players dedicated to D Ford. That's a lot of attention for one guy. And they chip him. He bull rushes the tight end, pushes him far back. The guard comes over. He can't even get into a position to help because D Ford is just driving this tight end back. He's on skates, and this is his attempt at helping his friend out. Nick Bosa ends up still beating the tackle around. Now, again, I'm not sure if it is because of his ankle. If you look here, he's normally, when I saw his film in college, he had better bend than this. He could bend and then take off around this corner, but he drops down. So either way, he forces Winston to step up in the pocket. And this is what I love about D Ford and why you go out and you get a guy like this and you don't worry about paying him, because he's got this relentless motor. We saw it in Kansas City and we're going to see it here. He's going to fight through all of this attention he's getting. There's 2 guys been on him. Here's a 3rd guy. And he's going to keep fighting, and he ends up getting a strip sack because he keeps fighting. He's got a relentless motor and he cannot be blocked. This is that power that you don't see from everybody, and they say that, D Ford said that John Lynch said he's got underrated power. He does. And he just puts his tight end on skates and just watch it in real time, and you'll be able to see, this is what we haven't seen here in a long time, is that guys that can get to the quarterback and make plays like that change games. So here's the next play. Now this one is going to be Nick Bosa's first sack, and it's really created by this guy over here. Nick Bosa wins, but he helps it over here. The problem that Tampa Bay has here is that they want to establish the run game and then the play action pass off of that. The hard part when you start running play action passes heavily, especially when you have to bring multiple tight ends to protect your tackles, is that when you run a run fake, if you go to one side, your tackle on the back side is not going to be able to help immediately on that pass rusher, especially in a wide nine, because he has to. What they're going to do is they're going to go this direction, and so everybody has to take a step to sell this run fake. So this tackle has to take a step over Armstead or Buckner, I think it's Buckner, and then come back and try and help with D Ford. But in that amount of time, his tight end loses the battle. So here's what happens. You'll see here. See here, they're trying to sell this run fake, so the tackle takes a step to his left. That leaves this poor tight end one-on-one in a lot of space with D Ford, and it's just no match. I mean, he just slips inside, and he's immediately coming after. And because the tackle had to take a step to his left, once he sees that, he can't recover in time. So now you have a free rusher at Winston, and he's got to scramble. Again, let's look at this. This is something we have not had here, is a guy that can get past blockers like this. Now on the other side, let's look at Nick Bosa. His hand fighting here, this is what we've been hearing about in the offseason, how he's so good at getting in close and getting and winning with his hands. So this tackle is going to try and get his hands on him, and he does. But watch how he's just a technician, how he moves up his arm, he slips his other arm out, and he's doing all this while moving laterally. He grabs his hand and he just fights his hand off, and now he's won. This tackle, because he's able to secure his arm and he pushes him this way, what that does is that doesn't allow the tackle to turn, engage, and push him past the quarterback. And so he's able to slip in and go. And because Winston's running, because of D Ford's quick win here, he's just got no chance. And so here Nick Bosa ends up with a sack. This is a play that was disrupted from the very beginning. Let's watch it in real time so you can see. He just beats his man. He isn't able to get it, but guess what? You got another great pass rusher coming in to clean up the mess. That's a beautiful thing. That's something we haven't seen for a long time. This is a play. Winston gets this play off, and this ends up setting up Tampa Bay's failed fourth down attempt. But I just want to look at here. We've seen D Ford and Bosa go around the tackles or inside, using finesse moves and hand fighting. Now let's look at what John Lynch had always talked about transitioning speed to power in the rush and what it does to the pocket. So here you see D Ford, he's taken a wide angle, same with Bosa. Let's just watch these guys. D Ford's supposed to have the fastest first step in football, and just look at how Bosa matches him. I mean, he's right there with him until he gets chipped by the running back. Those are two good pass rushers. And he comes in, and then look at D Ford transition that speed into power. Bosa is able to take the chip of the running back and transition speed into power, gets under the tackle. Same with Ford. Look at these guys. They're both underneath these tackles. And now these guys are going to be compressed in, and they have compressed the pocket. Look at that pocket that Winston has by the time he's trying to throw the ball. This is 3rd and 15. So that is a cramped space, and a lot of bad things can happen for a quarterback when a pocket is that compressed. And this is what you're wanting to do as a defense. You want to disrupt the pocket of the quarterback, squeeze it, and make him throw in a close quarters situation, because he can't set his feet. I mean, his front foot is not pointed at the target because he can't. He's not really where he wants. He completes the pass, and we have a little bit of a poor tackle here, but this is where he's at when the ball's thrown. That's pretty good. You will take that as a defense. If you can do that to a quarterback every time, you'll take it. So now we'll continue moving on. This play, I'm going to diagram a little something here. This play I wanted to highlight because here's what now all of this talent along the line allows you to do. We put D Ford over here in a wide 9. We have Buckner over here in a wide 9. And now we have Nick Bosa inside. And what we're going to do is we're just going to run these guys on a little stunt. He's going to come out, and Buckner's going to come in, and we're going to create pressure on Winston. And so let me move this thing out of the way. So when this happens, we can watch it. See here, Armstead comes in, and so what all this does is this gives one-on-ones on this side, because the guard is going to be looking at Bosa, so is the center, and now the tackle is looking at Buckner. This leaves this side of the line one-on-one, and Armstead again gets underneath his guard, transitions speed into power. He's always been a powerful guy. He just hasn't lived up to his expectations. And now look at what Buckner's doing. The tackle tries to engage with him. He takes the tackle and the guard, and now the center's got nobody to block, and Bosa's coming free around the other side, and Armstead's collapsing the pocket from the other side, and he gets him. Now, they didn't give Bosa credit on this sack, but you can clearly see he's holding on to Winston at the bottom of that pile, and Armstead just kind of fell over the top. But they gave Armstead credit for this, but this is really a 50-50. So let's just look at this in real time, and you can see what this does as a defense. I mean, that's just awesome. We have not had that for a long time. This is fun. This is fun to see. And now the last play we're going to look at is this game-clinching interception that was really caused by the defense. We got Nick Bosa out here. We got D Ford really wide out here. And this is Buckner, and I believe that's Armstead in the middle. Yeah, it is. Buckner does so good on this play. He's a really smart player. This really shows his growth. But one thing to keep in mind, so what Tampa's trying to do here is what's called a middle screen. So they're going to try and take these three interior guys. They're supposed to hit, slow their guy down, and then slip out. Hit, slow their guy down, and slip out. And this running back's going to come up, slip out of the middle. The tackles are in pass protection. They are in pass protection. So what happens here is not a result of them trying to give up on it for a screenplay and get out and block. This is just them getting beat. So here we're going to see the speed rush of D Ford. So watch D Ford on this side. He's got his quick step, and he beats the tackle to the corner, and this is where this special talent that D Ford has comes into play. He beats him to the corner. He's going to dip and rip. So he's going to hook his arm underneath this tackle. There it is. And now he's going to drive and turn the corner, get over the arc, and come at the quarterback. Here, I like what Armstead does. He engages this guard. This guard's wanting to let him go, but Armstead's got him hooked. He's grabbed him by the pads, and he's coming underneath, and he's hooked him. The guard is trying to get off of him so that he can go block. Armstead's just too powerful, and he's stayed engaged. He's not interested in shrugging his guy off and going getting the quarterback. He's interested in pushing his guy into the quarterback, which is the kind of dominance you want to see. You want interior guys who will push and collapse the pocket and take their man and drive him into the quarterback. Now watch Buckner on this other side. What he's going to do is he's going to hit his guard, and then he's going to latch on, and he recognizes right here what's happening. And so he grabs his guard, and he's not going to let him go. Look at him. He's grabbing the guard, and he's going to try and grab the center here too. So he grabs the center, slows him down a little bit, but look at the guard. The guard's trying to get away, and he can't because Buckner sees it's a screen, and so he's holding his guy. He's not letting anybody get out, and in the meantime, you have D Ford coming over the top. You have Bosa's winning with his hands coming over the other side. So we have three levels of rushers coming at Winston, and he just has nowhere to go. He sees Bosa coming, and he just throws this up for grabs, and that's game over. What a beautiful thing. So again, we'll watch this in real time. I mean, this is across the board great D-line play. This is fantastic from every single guy. That's high talent across the board. This is a fun defensive line, and a defensive line I am so excited to see this year. This is going to be a good year for our defensive line, and as long as these guys stay healthy, it's going to be a good year for our defense.